ま離陸いたします。シートベルトをもう一度お確かめください。Dear passengers, we are now ready for takeoff.
The second stop of our trip around Japan was Okinawa, a place that has very little to do with the image we have of Japan in our heads and has become my new favorite place. This is the second episode of a series where I'm showing you everything about our second trip to Japan. And in this video I wanna tell you about our first days in Okinawa and also tell you a little bit about how we organized it and some information that I would have liked to know before going there. As I said, after a couple of days in Osaka, we flew to Okinawa, the southernmost region of Japan. And no, it's not this island, that's Fukuoka. I also thought that that was the southernmost region of Japan, but Okinawa is a little bit more to the south. A bit more. That's it, that's Okinawa. This region consists of many small islands, which goes from south of Fukuoka all the way to almost Taiwan. And it is home to some things that we consider Japanese now, like for example, karate. That's why in the Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi came from Okinawa. The history of Okinawa is greatly influenced by Japanese culture, but also by many other Asian cultures. Okinawa used to be an independent kingdom, the Kingdom of Ryukyu, which lived a golden age when it started trading with China and Japan. After many years, Japan invaded the kingdom, and since then, Okinawa is another region of Japan. During the Second World War, they were a very relevant and strategic spot for Japan, and even after the war, they continued to be. That's why there are a lot of US military bases in the islands. The American presence in the islands has had an impact in their culture, for example in their gastronomy, and one clear example is taco rice, one of their most famous dishes. But these islands are famous because of their rich culture and impressive coral reefs. If you'd like to travel to any of these islands, but you don't know how to start planning, we have a consultancy service and we could help you with that. You have all the details in the description to contact us so that we can discuss together how we can help you plan your next trip to Okinawa. But back to this trip to Okinawa, that morning we were headed to Naha. The flight to Naha lasted about 2 hours, and when we arrived, we went directly to the city center. Okinawa Island is the biggest island of the region, and its capital is called Naha. It's located in the south of the island, and although it's not a very big city, it is the biggest city in the region. In the north of the island, there are a lot of beautiful beaches and hotels, but it's not very well connected with public transportation, so we stayed in the city. And the most popular plan if you go to the city is to go to the central market. So there we went. We were shopping for souvenirs for a little, and then we moved on to the food. And the first thing that caught our eye was the spam, which is very popular in Okinawa. If you're American, you probably know it, but it's something we had never tried in Europe, so that was our first stop. And after that, we went to the fish market. After the sashimi, we continued the tour with another very typical Okinawan dish, the Japanese curry. You'd probably think that after this mix we'd be full, but no, we still had a couple of things in our list that we wanted to try, so we went for dessert. And after trying every single thing in the food market, we went to the bay because all this plan of going to the food market in Naha was only a way to kill time before the boat to our final destination. And what is our final destination, you may ask? I'll show you on the map. As I told you, we flew to Naha in the island of Okinawa, but in this region there are many islands, and they can all be divided into 5 main groups of islands. The southernmost islands are called the Yaeyama Islands, and these are closer to Taiwan and the Philippines than to the rest of Japan, and you can tell by the color of the water and the ecosystems there. For most of the people, going to Okinawa means going to these islands, so probably most of the videos you'll see on Instagram and YouTube were shot there. The most popular island here is Ishigaki, which has an international airport and it's pretty well connected by plane. From there you can travel to all the other islands, although some of them are pretty small, and although they have amazing nature, there's not that many people living there. Whatever your plan is, I'm sure you'll find the perfect accommodation in Ishigaki, since it has a very wide offer, from 5-star resorts by the beach to smaller eco-hotels. Moreover, they are the perfect spot for snorkeling, and if you're lucky, you'll be able to swim with stingrays and even sharks. I really want to visit these islands, but not this time because this is not where we were going. Another great place where we also didn't go are the Miyako Islands. These are northeast from Yaeyama, but very close. If you'd like to go to a resort, these are your islands. They have the largest number of resorts in all Okinawa, but if you'd like to go scuba or snorkeling, this is also the perfect destination for you, because these islands have the largest coral reef in all Okinawa. The biggest island is called Miyako Island, and it has an airport. And surrounding this island there are a lot of smaller islands that are connected by bridges, so if you want to visit more than one island, you can do it easily with a car. Extra point for Miyako. If we go northeast, we are back in Okinawa's main island, where we spent that morning and tried every single thing in the market. But besides Naha, the capital, in the north of the island there's a lot to see. There are no big cities but a lot of nature, so it's a perfect place to go to the beach and on hikes, but also to enjoy in a nice hotel. West of Okinawa is Kume, a small island famous for its white sand beaches and a paradise for scuba and snorkeling. There, if you're lucky, you can see stingrays and turtles. And in between Kume and Okinawa are the Kerama Islands, our final destination. I don't remember when I found out about these islands, but in that moment I decided that we had to go there, even though they are much smaller, not that famous and not that well connected, since they don't have an airport and the only way to get in is with a ferry from Okinawa main island. There are 4 islands, Aka, Geruma, Tamami and Tokashiki, and they are all really small. If you want to go to a very nice hotel or a resort, these are not your islands because there are not that many hotels. Actually, in half of them there are no hotels at all. But they are a paradise and a great place to snorkel. And the upside of it being so difficult to get to is that there are not as many tourists as on the other islands of Okinawa. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, we would really appreciate it if you liked, comment and subscribed. We work very hard to try to make the videos as helpful as possible, and we will be uploading the videos of this Japan series weekly, so we would really appreciate if you could help us get to more people. Also, we've been working on our Spanish channel for a while, but this English channel is new, so we're very curious to know where you're watching from, so if you want to leave us that on the comments, we will be happy to get to know you a little bit more. As I said, it is not the easiest place to get to, since you can only arrive by taking a ferry from Okinawa, and there are only a few ferries a day. The ferry ride takes from 45 minutes to 1 hour and a half, depending on the ferry you're taking, and we were gonna take the express ferry in the afternoon. So we went to the pier, bought the tickets, and got on the boat to our final destination. The views from the ferry were amazing, especially since we took it during golden hour. But when they say it is an express ferry, they don't lie. I almost fell off of it a couple of times. And when we arrived to the pier, there was a car waiting for us to pick us up and drive us to the hotel. We arrived to the hotel just on time for sunset, so we didn't even check in and we went straight to the beach. And after sunset, we went to check in, grabbed something for dinner, and then went to bed to wake up early the following morning. And that's what we did. The following morning, we woke up very early, since we wanted to see turtles, and it was more likely for them to come closer to the hotel during the morning. And before going in the water, we had a brilliant idea, and we thought we should fly the drone to try to find some turtles from the sky. And as you can imagine, we didn't see any turtles, but we did see something, a giant snake in the water. We knew that there are sea snakes in these islands, but in the hotel the staff told us that normally they are not that close to the beach and you can only encounter them if you dive deeper than we were going to and farther away from the beach. So I'm not sure what we saw, but just in case we didn't go to the area where we saw it. But we came to the island to try and see turtles, so a sea snake was not gonna stop us. We went to the water and to be honest, I spent the first 10 minutes or so looking to the sides like every 5 seconds to see if there was a sea snake chasing us. But after a while, I forgot about it and just focused on the turtles and how beautiful everything was. We spent almost an hour and we didn't see any turtles, so I was starting to lose hope. But suddenly Alex made me a signal to go out and he told me that there was a turtle there. We spent some minutes watching her and trying not to move too much or do anything that could scare her. But after a while, she got tired of that area and of us and swam away. We didn't follow her because that can be stressful for them and just kept swimming around. We saw some fishes that came a little bit too close to us, especially to Alex. And later in the hotel, we found out that those fishes bite you if you get into their territory. And after a little while, when I was about to tell Alex to go back to the beach, he made some signals because there was a turtle swimming right behind us. When our little friend decided that it was time to go, we also decided that it was time to call it a day and go back to the beach. And we were really happy because we had traveled all the way to Kerama just to see turtles, and we didn't know if we were gonna make it, but finally we did.
¿Qué tal?
And to be honest, we only saw them because Alex could spot them. Because for me, it was impossible to see them even when Alex had spotted them and was pointing at them. After that, we stayed in the beach for the rest of the morning until lunch when we went to the restaurant. Curry japonés para Alejandro y para mí taco rice. After lunch, we had booked a diving activity to go to some reefs that were a little bit farther away from the hotel, but it had to be called off because of the wind and the weather conditions. But to be honest, we were so happy that we had seen the turtle that we weren't gonna complain. So we spent the rest of the day in the beach, which if you ask me was a pretty nice backup plan. And that's it for our 2 first days in Kerama and for today's video. And in the next one I will show you, but we'll still had 3 days left in Kerama, and in the next vlog I will tell you everything about it. I hope you liked this video. If so, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video back in Kerama. Bye!